Hey guys, Claudio Valdivia here with the Think Real Estate team. I want to welcome everybody to another episode of the Investor Deep Dive series. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host Erica Osborne today, as usual. And today we are going to be interviewing Victor and Leigh Leite. We did 3 takes of that, and I got it right. Hey guys, welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing? Victor and this is Leigh, husband and wife investment team. We're managing members of 25-8 Capital.
Very cool.
That's awesome. You guys also, I've seen LV Realty, right? Is that your flipping?
Yeah, we run sub companies. LV Realty. It was our fix and flip business that we have been running over the last few years, and kind of everything has kind of funneled back into our capital group.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna lead you through that and come all the way to the end to this capital group, because I'm excited to hear more about it. And I believe Shannon is into that as well, which we got her to talk about a little bit at the end of her interview. But let's start at the beginning, guys. All right, let's start with baby Leigh and baby Victor, where you guys came from and kind of how you came together.
You want to go?
Yeah, so I'm from upstate New York, and Victor is actually from São Paulo, Brazil. Tell him.
Yeah, so I was born in São Paulo, Brazil, and I moved to the States when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Grew up in Southern California, went to school out there. Leigh grew up in Ithaca, New York. We actually both met in medical school in Washington, D.C. And, we did our training there. We met there and we fell in love. We got married. We've been practicing medicine over the last 10 years or so in the Mid-Atlantic region. Our story has been interesting over the last 5 to 6 years or so, a lot of changes. But we definitely are a good duo team, that's for sure.
Yes.
What made you guys choose, coming from, by the way, I have a shirt that says Ithaca is gorgeous, and Ithaca really is gorgeous, but big fan of that area. What made you guys choose to converge on the DC area for schooling, coming from New York and Southern California?
We went to GW, and it was just a wonderful school. So everything worked out and found a place, and we were meant to meet each other there. So we graduated from school about 10 years ago, and after that we worked really, really hard to pay off our student loans, pay down our debt, and we were working 60 to 80-hour weeks in the clinics and really just running at full speed for many, many years. So we eventually decided to hit the reset button, and we left our jobs and decided to take an entire year off to go travel the world.
Now, what prompted that reset button pressing?
The medical business world and its corporate structures, along with the heavy patient caseload, night call, overnight call, it really started to put a pressure on us. And one day we really, we came home together and we were having these discussions of like, hey, we need to do something different here. We need to maybe look at stopping what we're doing and see if there's something else out there that we can possibly be involved in. So we say, you know what, we're going to make a radical change. We're going to press the reset button, and we decided to travel the world for a year, nomad style, actually.
Yeah, just with 2 backpacks. We packed everything into storage and went. And during that time, we finally got to slow down and do a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching, and we really got to explore what we wanted in life and what we wanted to do.
Yeah, when we talk about soul searching, we did a lot of reading. We did a lot of educating. We read all the motivational stuff, the Tony Robbins, the Rich Dad Poor Dads, the One Thing. We listened to a lot of podcasts, YouTube, TED Talks, all these things. And what really started resonating, I guess, with us, is that, in real estate, anybody could get started. You can have no money, no education, and really reach this form of financial freedom that can change lives. That's what we kind of did.
We enjoyed that year of traveling so much, with just getting to do things we wanted to do every single day instead of being stuck in an office building for 60 to 80 hours a week. And we said, well, this is how we want to live our lives. How do we replicate this in the future? How do we reach a level of financial freedom so that we can live the life we want?
Hey guys, there is so much. It's like drinking out of a fire hydrant right now. In the first like 30 seconds of this thing, right? You guys dedicated time and a lot of money to get educated to become professionals in the medical field, right?
Yeah.
And when people are first getting going in life, they're looking at doctors, they're looking at lawyers, and they're like, that's where I want to be. These people they're rich, they're living the life that I want to live. And you guys did that, and you said, this isn't for me. You stopped everything. You went to go travel the world and hit the reset button and said, how do I want to live my life? And full circle, you're here now, but you guys got started on the education piece and you were doing a lot of soul searching. The lines didn't really line up, or you didn't connect the dots to how it drove you to real estate. What was that?
Oh, good question.
There?
Yeah. So, when we got back, we do value our medical careers and we'll never truly give them up. So we really do like doing that. We don't want to have to be doing it, 6 hours a week.
In a corporate structure format. Yeah. We can
exactly.
volunteer. Do a lot of different things.
Yeah. So when we got back from our trips, we decided to relocate down to the Hampton Roads area, which is just a wonderful area. And we found our first home. We just knew we wanted to be home buyers.
It was a fixer-upper. It was new to us though, right? So.
Right.
Now you guys were still at that point in time. You both found new positions down in the Hampton Roads area, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of came back into the medical corporate structure, correct? Both of you?
Yeah, we transitioned back into it slowly with the ideas, of our new ideas of getting into some form of investment vehicle like real estate.
Okay.
Super quick, guys. Can you just tell us where you visited over the year?
Oh yeah, so really all throughout South America and Southeast Asia.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in both regions because we love it so much and the culture is so different and we learned so much from so many different people and we're humbled by all the experiences. It was great.
Where was your favorite spot to kind of land and stay for a little bit? Outside of, did you spend a lot of time in Brazil?
We did.
So Brazil is a very large country, just as big as the US. And it's actually in one of our top 3 of favorite places to visit in the world because it's so much vast.
Yeah,
I feel like you could see everything in that one country that you wanted to see. Like, meaning everything you wanted to touch on, not like it would take you a second to see the whole country, but like you could have it all just staying in that country.
It's a beautiful country to visit. Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Claudia.
I was going to say we love parts of Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar. I love just exploring new cultures, seeing new things, seeing how other people live, trying new foods.
Now, outside of like the classic Europe and what made you guys go, Asia, and then of course South America? That's understandable why you have roots there, and that would be a cool place to venture around. But what made you pinpoint those 2 areas specifically for your year?
We were searching for an adventure. We're searching to open up our viewpoints in the world, to open up ourselves to other cultures. South America is vastly different from country to country. Southeast Asia is vastly different from country to country. And we thought it would be a good opportunity to see both in a year. Obviously in a year, you have a lot of time, but you don't have a lot of time to deep dive into these places. Yeah. So we definitely spent a great amount of time in each country, and it was a wonderful experience. We'll never forget.
Yeah, what a really cool experience to have at that point in time when, no kiddos yet, and not that they strap you down, but you're free. It's just you two, kind of cruising around. So what a cool experience. Way to take advantage of that, guys.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring you back to Hampton Roads. Boom, you're here. You're slowly working your way back into the corporate culture, and now, boom. What happens then?
So when we came back, we got our first house under contract pretty quickly, our own home, and we drove up to DC, pulled our stuff out of the storage unit. We drove down, And we, were so excited to have the keys in our hand. We opened up the front door and we were just, our hearts sank.
Oh, right. So, so the whole first floor of our first home was flooded. So a pipe had burst in the wall a few days prior, and it just ruined everything. I mean, we were devastated. We didn't know what to do. We had no contacts, nobody here. So we were just distraught. I mean,
You had already, you had closed on it. And so since closing, this happened while you guys were in transition with your stuff down from
First day moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, we couldn't stay in the place. We had to stay in a hotel. It was just everything was like an inch or two of water. It was really devastating.
Yeah. So we regrouped though, and we started networking, reaching out. We found some great local contractors, and we were able to fix up that place and elevate it up to a level higher than we thought we could in a really short amount of time. And that was essentially our first flip. And so we said, well, hey, if we can do this to our own primary home, let's try to replicate this. And so we opened up our business and we started a fix and flip operation. And that's how we entered into real estate.
That is so cool. That you guys were so resourceful in that situation. You put the contractors together to solve your own personal problem, and then took the tools that you had put together and said, "Hey, let's go run down a business like that." Now, you said that was the first flip. Obviously, once the rehabs were done, you guys lived in there for a period of time before you sold it.
Yeah. We lived in it for 2 years,
Uh-huh.
and then we put it back on the market and sold it.
One of the things that people struggle with is finding good contractors. How did you guys go about amassing that team and putting the team together?
Right.
Yes, especially being new in the, brand new in the area.
Right. So in the beginning, the team development was the most, time inclusive part. I mean, to bring our team together, and we searched out and networked with, local agents, brokers, wholesalers who connected us with contractors and vendors and things like that. And it took time to develop the team that worked within our model and system of doing real estate. I mean, we're both in medicine, we follow algorithms, data, evidence-based, we have systems, we're very systems oriented. So we had to find people that fit within our wheelhouse, that understood what we were trying to do.
A lot of trial and error to begin with. So to find the right people to work with, it's definitely not easy to build your team, but I think it's one of the most important things to do when you're first starting out with real estate.
No, Leigh, when you say trial and error, like hire a contractor, have them do some work, it's not to your standards, they're fired, and the next person is put in place, or what does that look like?
We got a lot of quotes.
Okay.
And we researched their work, we saw what they've done, we did give people some work, and if it didn't work out, we said, hey, it's not going to work out based on what we need you to do for us, kind of things like that,
All right, so you decide, from this first experience, which could have brought anybody to their knees and just like, screw real estate, I'm out, this sucks. But from that first experience, you kind of hone in on that you want to focus on kind of the flipping strategy first, right?
Yeah, that was like our entry point into real estate investing that we kind of fell into because of our own personal kind of, tragedy with our first home. We were able to kind of catapult ourselves into real estate with that model. But after doing the first, the second, the third, the eighth, the 60th flip, like we started realizing we are value add investors, and we over these past few years we've started focusing on developing a buy and hold strategy with our investments, because we're all about legacy wealth and long-term wealth strategies. And so the fix and flip was our kind of entryway into the real estate realm, and there's multiple ways of getting into it, and that's just kind of worked out in our favor, really.
Yeah.
What was kind of your, not necessarily aha moment, but your moment where you're like, ooh, we want to add in buy and hold, and this is why? Like how did that flip to that?
I think our initial motivation, like I talked about before, was building passive income, and flipping is a great tool to generate capital, but it's not a passive activity. It's highly active.
Yeah, it's an active real estate investing format.
So we knew we needed to build a buy and hold portfolio to get that passive income. So we started building a strong single family portfolio within Hampton Roads, primarily utilizing the BRRRR strategy.
Right. We did a lot of BRRRRing in the beginning while using our fix and flip systems to transition our teams over. And alongside that, we started, going from single family to duplexes to, multifamily. We kind of started using, I guess our thesis was, we want to take our initial, systems and transition it over into other vehicles in real estate to invest in.
Right, so how everybody probably is curious of how did you fund this stuff? How did you fund everything to begin and kind of scale that up and be able to make those decisions?
That's a great question. So for our first project, we reached out to family to invest with us.
Yeah, we developed our business plan. We explained our model. We discussed our teams. We discussed our responsibilities and roles. And
we had to pitch it.
Yeah, we had to pitch
even a family. And we got them on board. And then really after our first few projects were successful, we just started talking about it to our family and more friends, and people just jumped on board.
Yeah.
They said, how can we be a part of this?
What did that pitch look like? Listening to you guys and the.
I picture a PowerPoint with a laser pointer and like very charts
like that.
Yeah, we're analytical, right? So we want to prove the facts, the data. Our second project, that second project after our first home, it took us time to really hone in on learning the area, learning the market, learning the numbers, learning the calculations, developing our calculation strategies and our return, profile. And so we kind of put that together alongside our business plan and say, hey, this is what we're considering doing. Would you like to partner with us and partner alongside us and help us grow together?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we started with, just off the bat.
So you guys are medical professionals, and getting a pitch from a medical professional to jump into real estate, the career path that you chose kind of puts you on a pedestal, right? Like if a doctor is speaking about anything, people are going to listen. How was your pitch received initially by your friends and family?
A lot of people thought we were crazy at first. And I think it's because a lot of people just don't think outside the box.
Right. They're used to their W-2 jobs and working 9 to 5 and retiring at 65 or 70, and don't think
your 401k and your stocks and bonds, and I think that's how a lot of people think. And I know, Erica, you're always mentioning the real estate bug, that once you start talking about it and really opening other people's eyes to it, you start catching it pretty quickly. Right. So I think it really just took us talking about it a lot to get other people on board.
And then the trust factor. There's that trust factor that everybody has. We take a lot of responsibility with all of our investors now. It's all about that trust factor. That we started with family and friends because that was our close network, and they trusted in us, and we had a vision, and thankfully that vision, really worked out well for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think it helped your case that you guys were, you're first, to go into the medical profession to begin with, you probably just have that, that kind of desire coming out of school, and this is what I want. So you went after that, completed that, did that. Do you think that it helped your case that you had already been seen as, driven professionals who, when they put their mind to something, is gonna make it happen, and that's just kind of the deal? Do you think that helped your case with your pitch with your families?
I think so.
Yeah, but I think,
but I think anybody could really do this. I think if anybody put together a solid business model, had some solid numbers they were working with, I think regardless of your background, you could find private money anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The idea is there, but it takes a lot of drive and motivation and hustle to do it. And like I said before, people trust in us to do so. And I think beyond what we do outside of real estate, I don't think that was the only factor. I think it was the trust factor of like, hey, we won't let you down.
Oh, for sure. I think that's probably 75% of it, especially as you're starting out and building that up.
Right.
So deal number 2, which is technically deal number 1 outside of personal residence, right? Deal number 2, walk us through how you found that, how it funded all together. Was it all private money, or did you add in some lending in there, and kind of the outcome of that? Walk us through that deal.
So deal number 2, jumping from our primary to our first deal, it actually took us a little bit of time to do. Probably about 6 months until we finally found the right project for us. And we learned the market. Again, we're working on building the team. So we were able to utilize private money, some of ours and some of families, for this next deal. Mm-hmm. And so it was all cash. We utilized a local agent to help us find the first deal. And it ended up being just a great project, a home run, which really helped to just propel our company forwards.
Right. Yeah, we got into contract. We set up our teams, our systems. It was done under 30 days on the market, multiple offers within the first 2 days. Full circle. We were finished up with that project within 2.5 months. And, and that was just in our beginning phases. We were really excited about how that really got started,
Yeah. And
it's like classic textbook. When I tell everybody, don't believe the HGTV timelines happen, you just break the mold right there, and you're like, oh, we did it. Obviously, it took a whole lot of work, to set that up and get that in motion. But what was your biggest lesson learned on that first full deal?
So, well, we both have different, my lesson was, the importance of a team. Like, we're the face of our companies, but there's a lot of people behind us that help us push that wheel down the road. And, it was important to have the team members ready. And, I'm talking about not just the people, laying the hammer and painting the walls. I'm talking about the brokers, our agents,
our attorney helped us formulate our LLC.
Our CPAs, for consult on the right appropriate way of developing our companies. I mean, the team development was an important piece.
Yeah, we definitely did our research prior to just jumping in.
Guys, what year was that second project?
That was in the beginning of 2016, I believe. Yeah.
Very cool. And you said it was a home run. Was it a home run by happenstance, or was it a home run because you guys slowed down to speed up and you really researched the project? Like, how did you ensure that thing was a home run and it wasn't just a home run by accident?
Yeah, so we really did a lot of research, and that's why it took us a while to close on that first deal. We first off just started going and seeing properties, going to get to learn the market, seeing what was out there. And then we really built a form of deal analysis on a spreadsheet to be able to analyze the numbers, predict what we were going to do, throw in contingencies. And at the end of it, it was a home run, not because we got lucky, but it was a home run because we got the return that we predicted we would have.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And at that time, you guys were back in the medical field. You were working your 70+ hours a week, right?
Yes.
Did you have children at that time?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was pregnant.
Yeah, you were pregnant.
Okay. So pregnant, working 70+ hours a week, still going out to actually put eyes on properties and run the numbers to ensure that the project was completed, and it was completed successfully. You just removed everybody else's excuses, right? I work a 9 to 5. I'm so tired. I have the kid. I have this. I have that. It's like,
we usually say there's 24 hours in a day, and we try to squeeze as much as we can out of that 24 hours. So before going into my clinic, waking up at 5 in the morning, running out to the property, doing a due diligence walkthrough, or making sure, contractors are there, doors are open, going to my clinic, following up with, lawyers, attorneys, trying to follow up with everything, keeping everybody updated. And we kind of, teamed up that way. And yeah, we made no excuses to break through.
And when we did have that first baby, the baby came right along
Yeah.
to the property.
Yeah, we strapped her on and we kept going.
Put a paintbrush in her hand and it's a Picasso. Leigh, what did you learn? What was your takeaway from that first deal? We heard Victor's takeaway or lesson learned. What was yours?
I was just really, we can do this. You know, this can be successful. This can work. Let's keep going and let's grow this thing faster.
All right, so there you go. Boom, you led me right into the next spot. How did you scale after that? Now you're really tasting the real estate bug. You're like, man, we did it. Now we're getting systems in place. We have people in place. Let's scale this thing. Oh crap, we're still working full time. Now this new baby is entering our lives. How from there did you scale it, and what did that look like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's all hustle, to be honest with you. I mean, so we went from one, we went to another, and another we decided to go to two to four, 4 to 8. You know, we started developing and attracting other investors to come along with us on this journey. We grew our team even further.
Yeah, we grew our contracting team. We grew our contacts. We added investors. We grew our private money. Everything just ballooned up.
So what did that the first year look like? How many flips did you guys complete?
In that first year, we did 6 that first year, I believe, right? 6 that first year.
Man, I'm working full time. That's a lot to pick up.
It was a lot to pick up, yeah. But we were motivated. We were hustling. We had, like I said, starting to develop our rhythm, our systems. The market, came along with us and rose with us, which is also an excellent for the fix and flip, phase of investing. So we did well.
So then you look at your setting goals for that next year, after seeing that first year, and what did that look like? Where did you want to go from there?
Next year we did a lot of BRRRRs. We grew our rental portfolio. At the same time, we were still flipping.
Yeah, we doubled our flip the next year. So we went from 6 to 12. Alongside, we did a handful of BRRRRs.
So now I think from having a previous conversation with Leigh, you started to add in some lending now, right, to help scale your business. Can you talk about that a little bit and how that panned out?
We were able to leverage our money just a little bit more to help scale. So basically, instead of just doing all cash, we were able to use a hard money lender to have a little bit less money in the deal, increase our volume. And
more cash reserves. We're looking for opportunities and we want to be ready for those opportunities. So we're able to do a little bit of leveraging on both ends. And it really helped us really scale up even further to create larger amount of revenue, increase our team capability, our labor force.
Because you were sourcing additional funding sources?
Yes, from leveraging with a hard money lender.
Okay. When you guys talked about scaling, it sounded pretty easy. Says easy, does hard, right? One of the challenges that you run into, and again, I go back to the contractors because they're a huge component of building a flipping business or BRRRR business. What did that look like? Because I've heard a bunch of horror stories where it's like, hey, I had this great contractor, and then I started to add more projects, and then as that person got overwhelmed, it was no longer this. He was doing great work here. It was like a little bit of shoddy work all over the place. What was that like? Yeah,
I mean, so like I said, it took some time to develop our teams and find the right pieces to make sure that they fit within our model. I'm big about partnerships and understanding that, we're going to grow together. We're going to build together. And so, with our initial contracting group that we put together, we taught them our system of our renovation processes. And from there, we build another team and we brought in, another contractor to lead that team. We try to develop our systems in-house. People understood what we're doing. And we also didn't try to nickel and dime anybody. We make sure people were happy working for us to make sure that we were growing together because we all need each other,
That's very good. That's good stuff. So a contractor is not they're not, you came in prepared. The contractor is never going to your job and saying, all right, well, what are we doing? It's like, here's the list, the laundry list of the things that we need to get done. And this is how we do it all the time. Can you do this in this period of time for this amount of money?
Exactly. Every single property that we do, we go through, we make a full scope of work for the project, with the timeline, with the contract, with full expectations. There's no gray area.
Right. We set it already.
That's part of our system.
We set it up already for our contractors on a silver platter and say, here you go. Don't worry about the business side. Let's get the work done. And so we make sure that they're paid on time at whatever frequency that they need, and all the business side of things are all handled by our team.
Now, when you say we do that, are you guys physically doing the scope of work and the walkthrough still, or have you scaled out of that?
Yeah, we've scaled out of that now, but in the beginning we did. You know, I was there doing the walkthrough with the contractors, writing my notes down, verbalizing that over to Leigh. Leigh developed the scope of work and put the contracts together. It was us doing a lot of the work up front, but now we've been a little bit hands off on that side.
That's good stuff. Hey, so up until this point, it's all been gravy. Tell us about the worst deal you guys ever had.
Ooh.
Worst deal?
Well, you know, I don't think we've ever really had a bad deal in the sense that we've been conservative enough to not lose money on a deal. But we do have a good story about one of the flips that we did.
We have a lot. I mean, it's been always interesting. In the the rehab processes, you peel back layers and you find surprises everywhere. The one deal that really comes up to mind is we one day we close on a property. One day a contractor calls me and he's like, hey man, you got a lake under your house. Well, what do you mean? It's not a waterfront property. It's not in a flood zone. It's like, you got a lake under your house. Somebody stole all the copper plumbing and copper wiring of your house, and the whole entire crawl space is full of water. It's about half a foot full of water. And all the copper wiring has been robbed from your property, so we can't even turn on the power. And so, we just couldn't believe, what we were hearing, because we just had been in that property a few days prior before closing, and we're like, wow, what in the world is happening? But we, like I said, we do our due diligence, we do our calculations beforehand. We set a little bit of a contingency fund for things just like that.
Right.
And so we were able to, recuperate from that event. And now we set up systems actually to avoid those events if we can, by having our team go in there before closing and say, hey, a couple more eyes on the property just in case we're not missing anything.
Man, that's a shock to the system.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shock too. I don't know, the state of humanity, where you're just like, who are these people? What are they doing? Who thinks that they can just go and do that? It just sends a lot of like protective vibes, where I'm like, I'm sleeping at that property the night before it closes. Nobody's messing with it. I'm putting up a Simply Safe, to check things out. But that phone call you don't want to get. That's for sure.
Right. Oh man, no.
How did that deal end up working out? I know you guys said you didn't lose any money, but was it a break even, or did you make a profit on that property? Like, what did that?
We still made a profit.
Yeah.
We're very conservative in our numbers, because you just don't know what you're going to find. We're buying these old foreclosed homes, and there could be all sorts of problems with it. We do the best we can with the pre-purchase evaluation, but sometimes you get surprises. Sometimes you'll have longer holding times than you thought, and really you just need to calculate that in. If you cut it too close, then you get into trouble.
Right.
Guys, in our market, pre-COVID, we'll just figure out, everything from there. Things have tightened up a little bit, and obviously the race is heavier in order to actually get the property under contract, and you're the one that they go with. Have you guys had to change your strategy or return profile at all to kind of compete in a market where there's so many investors going after projects?
Yeah. So, over the last few years, the market has contracted a little bit in our area. We adjusted our game plan in regards to, projected returns, offer placement on, the multiple listings service. We also developed, an in-house, wholesaling, operation where we can try to find, off-market lead source so that we can really kind of have different angles at attacking this real estate market. So yeah, we do have to make some adjustments at halftime to make sure that we are following the market and trying to, stay within this game.
Right, but a lot of investors get into trouble by overpaying for a deal, and
Right.
you make money on the buy. You don't make money on the sale, so you have to buy it right.
Right.
Say that again, Lee.
So if you make money on the buy, you don't make money on the sale, so you have to buy it right.
Correct.
That is huge. So
How many people are just looking to get so into the game that they get so excited? And I mean, everybody's felt that excitement. We're like, no, I'll just go 5,000 higher. It'll be fine. I'll get it. My ego's here. I'm hanging out. So many people just go in with that and they're like, I'll fix it on the back end. I'll find the money somewhere in the rehab, and it just doesn't pan out.
Right.
No, that's just gambling. That's just gambling with money, and we don't do it that way.
Yeah, we're not gamblers.
as you guys were scaling up your business, like you've said it a couple of times, conservative systems, conservative. Have you found that it's slowed down your progress from what you would like to see in the form of scaling? Or
Actually, no. We're able to pick up and hit the gas even harder. I mean, we've gone from a original entry point with fix and flipping, and we did a lot of single family stuff, and now we're transitioning, scaling into multifamily commercial side, and we're not slowing down at all, believe it or not. And whether there's less players in the game or there's less people willing to take chances or opportunities as they come, I mean, we haven't seen any slowdown whatsoever.
you guys still,
Go ahead, Claudia.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to jump in, and you guys are still investing right now, COVID-19. If a deal is found, you guys are going after it.
As long as the numbers make sense.
Makes sense.
Now we have increased, our holding times,
Right.
and some of our projections, and just, altering the numbers a little bit to make sure that we're safe, but we keep going.
Yeah, and we're definitely, on the hunt for opportunities and deals that are to come right now. We're definitely in the phase of growth.
All right, so when we're talking about the growth, how your business and kind of how it looks right now, you have contracting kind of in-house, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have contracting in-house, you have fix and flips and BRRRRs happening, you have a wholesaling piece of it to kind of feed the deal machine, which is beautiful. So kind of talk to us a little bit about you gave a little bit of hint to it, but the path where you're headed into what I believe is value add multifamily, correct?
Yes, exactly.
So talk a little bit about what that looks like for you guys coming up.
Talk about 25-8.
Yeah, if you want to talk about what we are actually focusing on now, our capital group, Tradevate Capital, we're transitioning all of our systems, our teams, our investment groups into the commercial side of things. We feel like we can scale even further alongside our team members. We're still taking our original model, which is value add, meaning taking something old or taking something that was, kind of disregarded, bringing it up to current market states and try to provide, a value addition to it. We just finished up our first 6-unit deal in downtown Norfolk and Ghent. You want me to talk about that, or?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. So we picked up a deal through a broker relationship on a 6-unit deal. Now this deal was on a market for some time. It was overpriced. It was, when we looked at it, it was disrepair, out of date. 2 out of the 4 units hadn't been rented for over 6 months. And so when we went in there to take a look at this with our team, we thought to ourselves, our thesis was like, we can transition our teams over to this, elevate these units. We feel like we can provide value in this building. A lot of people are not looking at the value here, like the outdoor space that was disregarded. there was a basement area there, you know, and we lived in DC for over 10 years, you know, we're used to basement areas. And the basement areas for the entire, existence of the building was never utilized for anything. So, you know, we went in, we brought in our teams, we did a full gut renovations of the 2 top units, and within 10 days, we had that done and had the units back on the market and rented within a couple of days. We also added, we looked in the basement, we also added, you know, laundry amenities for the tenants in the building, and storage unit capabilities for the tenants in the building. And by doing that, we were able to add value, raise the equity, and also raise rents $300 a month from where it used to be. Per unit. So we were very excited about this jump off phase that we had into the multifamily realm. And I think it's worked out very well.
Now, how did you said that deal was on the market for a while, seemed overpriced. I can't say that all deals are, but a lot of multifamily, or, you know, when you step into that, everybody has their difference. Sellers have their difference in opinion of value. How did you actually nab that deal?
We were, you know, in doing multiple, you know, single family fix and flips, we're used to putting deals, you know, within hours. So we're very comfortable with putting deals within hours.
Like offers on deals.
Yeah, offers on deals within hours, and sending forth our due diligence teams within hours to make sure that we have a good stronghold of this deal, you know. And it's through partnerships and networking that it kind of came our way as well, you know. So
yeah, and we have the rehab experience. A lot of investors are scared off by big rehabs that are needed, and we have the resources. So we're able to just get it done.
Yeah.
You guys went in, you made an offer on it that worked for your model and worked for your numbers. And how much back and forth was there with the seller on that?
Not much.
You know, not much. I mean, we didn't try to, you know, the numbers made sense from our calculations and assumptions of what we could provide. You know, we wanted to meet the seller at the point that the seller wanted to be at. So we didn't try to push too much further. We knew the seller was out of state, was, you know, bleeding a little bit on the property, had already dropped the price significantly, and didn't see our vision of where we could bring this property, but we did. And so we, you know, had offers in, numbers calculated, and under contract and closed within 20 days.
Was that deal just a regular straight buy, or did you use any sort of creative financing to get the seller to move over to your offer, or what did that look like?
That one was a straight buy.
Yeah, we were considering doing some interesting financing options, but the buyer at the final kind of moment says, hey, you know what, I just want to get out of this problem. It's been a big problem for multiple years. I can't get this place rented. I have tenants in and out of these buildings very quickly. And so we decided just to go traditional commercial lending route.
Okay, very cool. That's awesome. And to like just putting this out there, for those of you that are watching and have no idea of Hampton Roads, Ghent is an affluent area. You know, it's part of historic Norfolk. There should be no reason why a property is vacant in that area.
People love to live there. Yeah.
If you would have seen these units before, you would have said,
One of the units didn't have a shower.
Yeah.
It only had a bathtub.
It only had a bathtub, no shower, nothing. It was so small. I mean, it was just dungy, you know. But there is no reason. You're right, Claudia. There is no reason why this place wasn't, you know, they didn't see the vision in it, and they didn't take the time.
And it was a simple fix.
Yeah.
Add a shower.
I mean, 10 days in and out.
All right, so guys, you buy that, you rehab it. Is that a BRRRR for you guys? A buy and hold? Like, are you placing financing back on it and then keeping it as a buy and hold?
And we're just keeping it as a buy and hold. We bought it with traditional lending. It is cash flowing. So it's just added to our portfolio.
Right, 25-8 capital right now. We're aggressively, you know, going after opportunities. We want to be cash ready when the deals are coming through. So we're trying to make sure we appropriately leverage our deals. Okay, that's the key factor there.
Now next, so first 6 unit, what do you after next? What are you hungry for next for 25-8?
I want something bigger. We're currently looking for 10 to 40 units.
Right. We've already kind of worked on, off-market lead generation, which has brought in multiple opportunities to scale this portfolio that we have going on with our capital team. And so we're going to be scaling upwards.
Now, with the commercial lending environment being a little bit tight at the moment, everybody's tightened, hunkered down a little bit. What are your conversations looking like, or are you having any conversations with potential commercial lending to, kind of get ready for these opportunities and to pounce on them, when they come in?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, we've developed partnerships over the last few years. We have a track record, and credibility of what we do, so they understand that, we have our underwriting and our numbers, put together for them. And they understand that we are, serious investors who run multiple real estate avenue businesses, and we're not going to go away anytime soon. We're looking to scale for the future. So we've built that trust, that partnership, that hopefully will get us there.
And so, Victor, you, I believe you have exited the medical field from a corporate, at least, viewpoint. Is that correct? And you're working full time in the business?
Yeah. So I had a working 40, 60-hour plus work week in medicine, working same amount of hours in real estate. We made a decision. Our financial freedom number was already set a long time ago, and so now we made a decision to scale back on one side and focus on growing the other side. So we're thankfully we have that capability and opportunity to do so.
And Leigh?
I'm still working at the clinic. I still like, my profession. Like we said earlier, I invest a lot of time and energy to get my degree. So I'm still working, but a little bit less now.
A little bit more of that freedom that
Right.
to work in, something a little bit different for you guys. So with your partnership, and where you guys are headed, and what do you see that you each bring as a strength into the partnership?
Great question. We're a married couple, and a lot of people ask us, well, how do you run a business together? And I think the key to it is just designating roles and sticking to them, and to not try to do each other's jobs.
Right. So. Yeah. I mean, I have my strengths. Leigh has her strengths. We collaborate on a lot of things, but we work well together. We focus on how we can bring value to our teams.
Yeah, Victor's great day to day, getting deals, talking contractors, talking to the brokers, lenders.
Lee's good at numbers, very good at numbers.
Deal analysis, keeping our books,
networking.
Kind of being in the background, networking. So we do our separate roles.
Does anybody take the lead on the visionary piece, or is it kind of a collective?
Yeah. So that is where my talent comes in. The vision of growing. We mentor a lot of people, and we talk to a lot of beginning real estate, investors who are aspiring to do so. And, I talk to them about, setting your 5 and 10-year outlook of what you like to do, whatever your goal is, setting out that outlook and being able to take action on those goals and taking one step forward, towards meeting those goals. And so I try to be big picture, positive mindset, positive thinking, to make sure that everybody's going in the right direction together.
Yeah, and we write down our goals, as big as they may be. Victor is a really big dreamer, big picture guy, and we'll write it down where we want to be. And we've done this, for the past 10 years that we've known each other, and we've achieved everything we have written down. So I think we're just going to keep on growing and growing and growing and get to where we want to go.
Yeah.
That's huge. And for people at home listening to this, hearing this story, like, write them down big. Do you guys have them on a whiteboard? Like, what's that look like?
Oh, yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in the office. It's in the house. All this, these goals, these dreams, these positive, quotes. We keep them everywhere to keep us, motivated. I mean, right now, especially in the time that we're in, it's really easy to fall into this trap of feeling negative and the world's going to end and everybody's, in bad situation. But no, you can use this time to really, build upon your goals and your dreams for the future, because at some point, this COVID-19, this pandemic will subside and the world will go back to normal. And, and then, what have you done with your time now to really catapult yourself, further in the future? I mean, towards your goals. What have you done? That's what we always kind of look at.
Victor, at the beginning of this interview, when you were going through your intro, you said the word legacy. What legacy are you building? What do you want your family to be known for? What do you want your business to be known for when everything is said and done?
This is more of when it comes down to our values and our beliefs, and the legacy that we're trying to build is pretty much that, I'm an immigrant. I grew up poor in São Paulo. My wife grew up in upstate New York. It's not like we came from an extreme amount of wealth, or we worked hard for everything that we've had. We've been motivated, and we've hustled, and we've grown into this level where we have a lot of opportunities that have come our way. And our legacy really is to really provide that same support for our family, our friends, our network. We really want to make sure that everybody looks at us as like role models or mentors, or things that we can do to really
bring everybody
up around us. Right, exactly.
Bring everybody up, make everybody's lives better, make everybody's lives easier.
Change the future of all of our families is what our goal is to be remembered as. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Claudia.
I was just gonna say, you guys are an awesome powerhouse couple, and I can't wait for the COVID-19 to go away so we can hang out.
Yeah, of course.
In person. All right, guys, what would you do anything differently to build yourselves up to where you're currently at?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have started a long time ago with this real estate.
I mean, I guess, we would, hindsight's 20/20, right? So, I mean, we'd like to have started sooner, taken action sooner, but what we really say is pretty much like, it's never too late. It's never too late. We always talk about it's never too late to do what you want. We say, if we can give people any advice on what to do is, what we did was we educated ourselves from the beginning, right? We educated ourselves to try to figure out what we wanted with our lives. We started from the end goal and reverse engineered it backwards.
Work backwards.
We started educating ourselves and developing our network, our partnerships, meeting people, trying to develop a team, and then like she says, taking that action. We want to take that action. We want to take that action sooner, but we took that action and it panned out really well. So I say, take action. That's what we wanted to do earlier.
I mean, guys, 4 years in essence, right? 4 years. And Victor, you mentioned that you had hit your financial number a little while ago. So yeah, the freaking sky's the limit here. Like, I mean, it takes work. Of course, it takes really hard, concentrated work. And like you said, hustle. But it is totally doable. So there's no reason not, if that's what you want, there's no reason to not get out and get at it. So that's awesome, guys. What are some of the resources and things you use to keep you motivated and driven? Some podcasts, books, additional reading. What's on your summer reading list?
Well, we got a lot of different tastes. Yeah. Like I'm a big mindset kind of person. I listen to a lot of motivating podcasts in real estate and in mindset driven ways. I read recently, The Power of Positive Thinking, and reread, The One Thing, to really keep that drive going, to really keep, it's all about mindset, everybody. It's all about mindset. You can be a doer or you cannot be a doer. If you keep the right mindset, the outlook, I mean, that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to stay motivated, trying to avoid really watching the media and the news right now, because it's a lot of negativity. We really don't need that negativity in what we're doing. And we're super busy with family and life,
Because not only have you scaled your business, you've scaled your household.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, we have.
So that comes right along with it. If you could have one book or one podcast to toss out there to a newer investor to listen to or read, what would it be?
You're the big reader. I think Rich Dad Poor Dad. I mean, everybody says that, but just for mindset to get
Everybody says it for a reason. Yeah.
out of the mind of being, you know, just an employee, like we are in our medical professions. We're just employees there, even if it is a great profession, and to really be an investor. Change your mindset.
Yeah, and we listen to a lot of, like, I listened to a lot of Tony Robbins podcasts, and I got into
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, of course, the mindset drive. You know, I listen to a lot of real estate based, you know, stuff, especially with bigger pockets and all that stuff. There's a lot of information out there nowadays compared to 10 years ago, which gives people kind of the roadmap. You know, you don't need to recreate the wheel. The roadmap's already there. You know, so it's just being driven to do it. You know, one way or the other, being involved.
Yeah.
Right, guys. I mean, people hear about what you're doing. It's exciting. Obviously, you have a machine that is cruising itself forward. We know kind of where you see yourself headed. How can people find you to find out more about what you're up to, potentially investing with you guys, your vision, or for mentorship? How can people find you guys?
Well, we're 25A Capital Group, and so we're at 25acapital.com. You can reach out to Leigh, at 25acapital@gmail.com. We're on all social media, 25A Capital. You can also find us at LV Realty on social media, kind of some behind the scenes, inside information about the day in, day out. You know, some people, you know, they see us in our white coats, and then when they see us in the other realm, their like mouths just drop and like, whoa, like this is a big different hat you're wearing, you know? So it's kind of cool for you to kind of see the behind the scenes and the actual, like, we're getting in there. We're not afraid of getting in there and getting our hands dirty and doing things. And we are also trying to start an educational platform just as this. You know, we started a platform called Thinking Thursdays. You know, you're trying to interview, you know, different kinds of people and learn about their various, like, their habits that drove them to their success. You know, we're really interested about these people and their mindsets and how they've become so successful.
Convenient that it's Thursday.
Yeah,
Yes.
got another episode.
So convenient. All right, guys. Awesome to have you here. Awesome to chat with you. I've gotten some time with your lovely wife, but Victor's super nice to actually listen to, you know, your story together and see you guys together. I'm going to have Claudio bring us out because, again, he's the best. So, Claudio?
You guys absolutely rocked it today. Thank you for sharing. So thank you for sharing your journey. There were so many nuggets that you guys threw out there. Like I said, COVID-19, we're done and we're all hanging out. You guys watching at home, I hope that you took away as much as I did. Victor and Leigh Leite were amazing today. Reach out to these guys, 25A Capital. This is
just in case you said A, 25-8.
Oh, that's right. 25-8. I did say A. 25-8.
Yeah, 25-8 because we raised the bar beyond 24/7.
That's correct.
I love it.
Erica Osborne, Claudio Valdivia, Think Real Estate Team, Investor Deep Dive Series. If you guys are watching this for the first time, go find us on social media, follow the YouTube channel. If you want to be a part of the conversation, send us an email, info@thinkreteam.com to set up a time for us to interview you. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.